Hello, welcome to the MRC volunteer team. This particular project's goals are to determine the feasibility of an oyster restoration project in Mud Bay. As a volunteer, you will be helping the Whatcom Community MRC in monitoring the oyster restoration efforts. This video is going to show some of the methods we use in the field to monitor Olympia oysters. As you know, we will be working in the southwest part of Whatcom County in Chuckanut Bay. The sites are all located in an upper part of the bay called Mud Bay. This bay is very tidally dependent, and the date and time of sampling will affect how many sites we can access. There are 7 sites in Mud Bay to monitor. Each site will have a portion of it assessed with a quadrat. Quadrats will be placed at set intervals along a transect that will span the 6x6 meter plots. Now that we have a quadrat placed, we can start sampling.
Lift the quadrat up and measure the individual count and measure the individual native oysters.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 oysters.
And we have to make sure they're alive. There's some dead ones on there, but I think he's got them. All the live ones.
An Olympia oyster is generally smaller than a Pacific oyster. Olympia oysters can grow up to 3.5 inches in diameter, but spat may be no wider than a few centimeters. Pacific oysters can grow up to a whopping 12 inches. Most of the Olympic oysters that you will be measuring may only be a few millimeters in diameter and generally found on the empty shells of Pacific oysters. You may also notice when you get your observation sheet, there is a place available for general observations, with a few examples of things you might want to note. If there are a lot of other species around the oysters, that might be important. If you see a lot of trash or specific damage to your group of oysters, that can be helpful as well. If you think something could possibly be noteworthy, write it down. You never know what might be helpful for the scientists that will be going over your data.
That one's going to be about 2.5 centimeters.
Okay.
Don't forget to be filling out the field sheet as you go and look for other species when you are done with the oysters.
Great.
Once we are done with one quadrat, we'll just start on the next. Thank you for volunteering to help us monitor the Olympia Oyster Restoration Project progress. Hope you have fun out in the mud.